In this video, you will need your tailor's chalk, your 1-inch elastic, your tape, your scissors, 3.5 yards of fringe, then 3 yards of fabric. So my fabric is already on fold, as you can see. Then there will not be joining on the shoulder area. Okay, and the length I'll be working with is 30 inches. So I'm going to mark 30 from here to the point where it's going to stop at. So this is it here. Then I'll connect the points together. So the width I'm working with is 19.5 from here to that end, 19.5. So I'm marking them now, then connect the point together. All right, for the neck width is 3 inches. Okay, for the neck width. So for the back neck depth, I'll be working with 1 inch. So I'll mark it here, then connect it to the other point. Okay, so for the front neck depth, I'll be working with 6 inches for the front neck depth. So I'll mark the 6 inches here, then I'll connect it also with a curved V. All right, then the next thing I'll be doing is to cut it out. All right, I'll be cutting the back neck depth first. Then for the front neck depth, please raise the fabric up before you cut it, so you will not cut the back panel together with the front panel. Okay, so this is it. Then the next thing is to move the fabric towards me so that you can see whatever I'll be doing on this side. Okay, so from the shoulder, I'm going to be marking 11 inches downward. Okay, then this point here, I'll come in by 1 inch. So I'll mark 1 inch inward, like that. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to curve it a little on this side as I'm doing. Okay, then I'll take my tape. I'll start measuring 1 inch from this point till I get to the hem of the fabric. Then I'll connect the points together. So I'm going to cut it out. So now I'm done cutting it out. So that is everything. So for the facing of the neck, I'm going to be cutting bias for the neck. So I'll set this aside. So this is what I'll be using. And I'll be marking 2 inches. Oh, sorry, I'll be marking a 1.5 inch. Like that. Then I'll cut this. Then I'll cut another one. Also, another 1.5 inch. Then I'll cut it out, and I am done cutting the top. So the next thing is to cut the trouser. Okay, so for the trouser now, this is my starting point line, and it's going to be cut together with the band. All right, so from the starting point line, I'm going to be marking 3.5 inches downward. Then I'll connect the 2 points together. So this is it. So for the length of the trouser, the length I'm working with 40 inches. Then for the hemming, I'll add 2 inches to it, making 42 inches. Then I'm going to come to this second line. The band I'm working with is 1.5, so I'm going to place 1.5 on that line, the second line, then measure the 42 inches downward. Then measure it on this side as well. Then I'll connect the 2 points together. So the crotch I'm working with is 10 inches. Okay, that's the crotch depth. So I'm going to mark it, place 1.5 on the second line as well, then mark on this point. Then also here as well. Then I'll connect the points together. So, okay, now the hip measurement I'm working with is hip 42. 42 divided by 4 is going to give me 10.5. Then I'll add ½ inch sewing allowance to it, which will give me 11 inches. So I'm going to mark 11 inches on the crotch line. Also here as well. Then I'll mark it at the upper part as well. Then I'll connect the points together. So for this place, I'm going to place 1.5 inch here. Then mark my crotch curve. Okay, so I'll measure what I have from here to the end here, which is 11 inches divided by 4. Okay, I'll have 2.7, so I'll mark 2.7 from here to this point. Okay, so I'll measure what I have on my crotch line, which is 14. I'll divide it by 2, so I'll have 7 inches. So I'll mark 7 inches here. From the side here, I'll mark it inward. Okay, now for the new length, okay, I'm going to measure what I have from my crotch line to where the trouser measurement stops at, which is 30. Divided by 2, I'll have 15 inches. Then I'll minus 3 inches from that 15 inches, which will give me 12 inches. So from my crotch line, to get my knee length, I'm going to mark 12 inches downward. So here it is on this side, then on this other side as well. Then I'll connect the 2 points together. Okay, so remember the 7 inches that I marked up here. So I marked the same thing on my knee line as well. Then at the hem also, I'm going to mark the same thing. So for you to see what I want to do here, okay, so the ankle measurement I'm going for is 24 inches. Okay, then I'll add half an inch sewing allowance, making 26 inches. Divided by 2, I'll have 13. Then that 13, I'll minus half an inch from it, remaining 12.5. Then I'll divide the 12.5 by 2. That's it. So it's going to give me 6 inches and quarter. So I'm going to place it here, 6.25. So I'll mark it on that point, then backwards too I'm going to be marking 12.5 backwards. Okay, like that. And I'll repeat the same process on this line. 6.25, I'll place this in the middle, then mark 12.5 outside, then mark it on that side too. Then I'll connect these 2 points together with a straight line. Then on this side as well. Okay. So here I'm going to be placing 6.5 on that point in the middle, 6.5. So 6.5 there, and mark it towards that side, then 13 on this side. So now I'm going to connect all the points together. So now I'll come here, I'm going to measure half an inch downward, then I'll connect this point to this point. Okay, then remember this point here. Okay, I'm going to measure the distance between these 2 points. What I have here is 4.5, then divided by 2 will give me 2.2. So I'm going to mark 2.2 there. Please do not forget to mark this point. Okay, always remember. Alright, so the next thing is to cut it out. So this is it. Now I'm going to notch all the points. Then the next thing is I'll be using this front panel to cut out the back panel. Okay, so now the front panel is on the fabric for the back panel, so I will extend the crotch line outward on the back panel. All right, then from this point here I'll be marking 2.7. Sorry if you are not seeing some parts, my phone camera can't cover it all. Then from this point I'll mark 1.5 inches upward for the crotch curve for the back. Okay, like so. So remember this point here, and from this point now I will extend this point upward. This line I will extend it upward on the back panel. Okay, then I'll be marking 2.5 inches upward. Okay, then I'll connect this point to this point here. So this is it. All right, so this place now I'm going to extend it outward on the back panel with a straight line like so. Okay, then I'll measure what I have on the waist, which is 11 inches. Then I'll come here from this point here to this line. I'll mark 11 inches there. Then I'll connect the points together. Okay, so the next thing is to connect this point to the hem of the trouser. So this is it. Then on this side I'll be marking 1 inch outward. So I'll mark 1 inch on the lane line, then I'll connect it to the crotch line. Alright, then I'll mark the 1 inch downward too till I get to the hem of the trouser. Alright, the next thing I'll be doing is to measure the inseam of the front panel from this point to the hem. So I'll measure it. So this is 32.2. Whatever I have here on the inseam of the front panel, I will measure it on the inseam of the back panel. Then I'll mark where it stops at. Then I'll connect the crotch line coming upward. I'll connect it to it. Okay, so that is it. The next thing I'll do now is to measure this side here. So I have 44. Then I'll measure this other line as well, the back panel line, to be sure of what I have there. So it's still same 44. So now I'll cut it out.